Hey everybody, welcome to another trading education video. If there's one question I've been getting more than any other, it's about the indicators on my charts, specifically the mean reversion tool and the red and green buy and sell indicators, where those are coming from. Now I did one longer chart setup video with all the tools I use for everyday trading, but I want to make one just focused on those tools specifically, and that is the IADSS indicator from the InvestAnswers indicator set. Now, as I said previously, I'm not paid to promote these. I'm not affiliated with InvestAnswers. I just really like using the tools. I haven't found any that are as well thought out, developed and engineered, and as rigorously backtested. So these are my go-to for everyday trading. We're going to dive in and set up the main indicators in IADSS. And then at the very end, I'm going to show you a bonus. I just actually cracked the code on this, how I set up the confluence model with a few instances of the cloud to really get precise entries and exits. So with that said, let's dive into the charts. And I'll launch TradingView here, and we've got Bitcoin because who doesn't love Bitcoin? So I'm just going to go up to indicators, and then I'll go to invite only. And from all the InvestAnswers indicators, the IADSS set is comprised of the confluence model, we have mean reversion, and then we also use the trend model here. Some folks like using the optimized trend as well. I just go with the trend model personally. The optimized trend is just what it sounds like. It optimizes the trend and gives you a little better curve fitting, but just the normal trend model is fine with me. So we'll stick with those three. You'll notice that we are on the 4-hour time frame because the confluence model is optimized for the 4-hour time frame. So if you're trading over a couple weeks to a couple of months, this is the time frame you want to be on. It does work on the daily as well, but if you really want to get precise entries and exits, the 4-hour is where I would suggest living. And if you're getting those signals off the daily, then you can move into the 4-hour to get more precise entries and exits. So the first tool I'm going to adjust is the trend model. So I'll just go here to settings, and all I like to do is take the opacity down on the trend color to 30 because I like to see my bars through this trend model so I can really assess the open and close of every bar for my TA. And then these bands on the outside, the line, I'm just going to turn the opacity down on those just to clean up the chart. I know where the outside of this trend is regardless, don't need that. And that is about all I change on the trend model personally. You can also change the trend tightness here, and you can see how that impacts the trend cloud, but I like sticking with the default because it gives me nice back tests on a lot of these candles. The next thing we'll look at here is mean reversion. There are also some settings you can dial in here, but personally I don't change anything. The main one is the trading style. So if you do want more aggressive entry signals, you can change that and you'll see you get more signals here. And on the flip side, if you change it to conservative, you see that you get less signals, but for me, just neutral. I'm very happy with where those bands sit and with the amount of signals I get on neutral for most every chart I've been on, so that's what I stick with personally. And the last thing we'll dial in is the confluence model. And the confluence model is everything you see up here. It's this cloud and these sell and these buy indicators. And you may be wondering, well, how does it generate these buy and sell indicators? Well, as the name would suggest, the confluence model brings in a confluence of indicators. It's actually comprised of 22 different indicators. And when all of them are firing, then you'll get these green buy signals or these red sell signals here. And when a lot of them are firing, but it's not quite time, you get these more transparent sell signals or transparent buy signals. And those are just letting you know that, hey, we're getting close, but it's not quite time yet. So let's go into the settings. And here you can change your bias. So this impacts the cloud and the number of buy and sell signals you'll get. So you can change it to bearish, and you'll notice on bearish, the cloud drops down more, or you can change it to bullish and you'll get more buy and sell indicators on bullish. You see how that came in there. And also the cloud moves up. For an asset like Bitcoin that's volatile and that is currently in an uptrend, I like to go with bullish, but you can change that depending on the trend you're in or the asset you're trading. The back test refers to this table right here. So the first thing we want to do, we want to change our back test start date to the epoch for the particular asset that we're trading. So for Bitcoin, that for me would be the bottom of the bear market. So I would go to November 2022. It was around the 6th there where we had the FTX crash. And then the back test, you can also change the position. Sometimes I have the VRVP up here. So I'll change this table position to bottom center and change it to horizontal, and you can see how that shifts right there. And again, that doesn't impact anything. That's just personal preference of where you want to see that on the chart. And then the last thing are these options right here, which we'll leave at defaults for now. So it's your initial capital in, your order trigger, entry type, you can do current percentage, initial capital, and then you can change that percentage there. Entry fee, exit type, FIFO or LIFO, first in, first out, last in, first out. We won't get into the specifics there, but depending on your particular asset and what you're holding, you can really fine tune this model to get a very accurate back test and see your ROI, which is very powerful. So you may be asking yourself, do I act on all these buy and sell signals? And no, of course not. That would be foolish. We go a step beyond just acting on colored triangles here. So what are we looking for to tell us that we should act on a buy or sell signal? Well, first we're going to look at mean reversion. And on the 4-hour, generally to act on a buy or sell signal, you want mean reversion to be 2 standard deviations oversold or 2 standard deviations overbought. So just for sake of clarity, so we can see it on the chart, I will draw a horizontal line here at 2 standard deviations oversold, and I will draw another one here at 2 standard deviations overbought, which we haven't really gotten close to lately, just on that last run up there. So on the way down during this correction, during the tariff news, where would you have bought? Well, you would have been 2 standard deviations oversold here, and then we just tickled it here, and then we had another one here at the bottom. So you would have acted on this signal here because you're getting a buy signal, you have that 2 standard deviations, and then the third thing you're looking for confirmation is the trend to flip. So we're in a downtrend that's orange, and here it flips to blue. So this would have been your entry. And unfortunately, this wasn't the Pico bottom, but we're not entering each of these with 100% of our capital, especially on an aggressive downtrend. We're scaling into our position to get a good average entry cost. So then the second signal you would have acted on is right here, and this would have given you a great entry right near the bottom right here as the trend flipped. And you may be saying, well, Tom, this was a big fast candle. What if I missed that entry? Well, that's where a little bit of thinking in traditional TA comes in. You could see this fast move rocket up, and maybe you don't want to chase it, but you're like, okay, this is clearly different because we made a higher high here than this previous high. And then you came back down and formed a higher low. So that's just using a bit of simple traditional TA to say, hey, higher low is in place. We're close to that initial entry. So that would have given you a second shot to get in at very close to the same prices and build your position for that larger move up. Now on the tops, the inverse of this would be true. You are looking for sell signals, and then you are looking for 2 standard deviations overbought. And right now, because I'm on bullish, I'm not getting quite as many sell signals because on bullish, this knows that I still want to hold for the duration of the bull run. So I only got one here in the middle, and then I didn't get anything on this last pump up. If you were to turn on volume, you would see this was a very low volume pump, so that's probably why that wasn't triggering. But if we go back to our settings and we change this to, say, neutral, you can see that that now gives us a sell signal right there. So a smart strategy is to identify what trend you're in. And if you're in an aggressive uptrend, maybe you want to be more bullish. And then if it's clear we're in sideways chop and you're really looking to buy and sell a lot, perhaps you switch to neutral and then maybe switch to bearish on the downtrend. You could do that if you're really looking to play all the swings. But for me personally, since I've been riding this since the bottom of the bear market, I'm happy with that bullish setting. Now, one last thing I'm going to do just to give us a bit of context is I'm going to zoom out to the daily time frame so we can see a little bit more here. And you'll obviously notice that on the daily time frame, you're not getting nearly as many buy and sell signals, and they're not quite as accurate as they are on the 4-hour. So this is what I was talking about early on with this being more of a larger time frame indicator, and then you can zoom into the smaller time frames and you can really scalp those entries. But what I want to bring up here is just one other simple tool that I like to use in conjunction with IADSS, and that's the simple RSI indicator. And just one setting I'll change on RSI is I'll turn off this yellow trend line because I don't really want that. I just want to see RSI on its own. And the way I use RSI, if we're just zooming in here to this uptrend from November from the election here, you can see if you look at the daily RSI and draw just a little uptrend underneath, it moves up much more consistently than the chop that you get in mean reversion. And the way RSI works is just like mean reversion spikes, RSI will spike. Anything over 70 is considered overbought, and anything below 30 is considered oversold. And I'm using these trend lines just to give me an indication of when momentum is coming out of a move. So you can see we're respecting this uptrend the whole way. we peak above here, and then we break through. So that's your first indication that momentum is coming out. And even as price is going higher, the RSI is printing lower highs, and that's what's called a bearish divergence. So lower highs in the RSI, but the price keeps moving up. Momentum's coming out of the move, but it's still printing higher highs. And then when we got this final peak here, you can see we even couldn't print a higher high there. So that would be your indicator like, hey, this bearish divergence is something to really pay attention to. And in conjunction with the signals you're getting on the 4 hour, it could be a good time to exit. Now you can also use RSI on the flip side. If we're in a downtrend, you can put that resistance on top of the move down. And so now you have that resistance that we're bumping up against, and then we break through here. And this is a leading indicator to you that momentum is shifting positive. And that wasn't at the bottom yet. We still had this low here. And the final low back tested this, broke in a little bit, but generally bounced away. So that's how RSI can just put you on alert to say, hey, something is different from this whole trend down. We've broken out and the character of the move is shifting. And now for the trend we're in currently, I would draw in the RSI down here again. And this trend line is a bit speculative because a trend line needs 3 touch points to be confirmed. So we have 2 of those. And if we come down here on the daily and touch it again and bounce away, then you know that this is a valid trend line again that you can pay attention to. So that's it. It's really quick and simple to set up the 3 indicators, and they're very powerful tools for getting you to pay attention to like, hey, buy signals flashing, sell signals flashing. I need to pay attention. I need to use my other TA skills to see if this is a smart entry or exit. But what I promised at the beginning, I have something very exciting to share with you. I have a new way that I'm using the confluence model that has pretty much revolutionized my trading. I don't like to use hyperbolic words like that, but it is a game changer for me. So let me go back to TradingView, and I'm just going to hide RSI for now, and I am going to delete the confluence model, and I'm just going to go back into the 4 hour time frame. So I'm going to go back to indicators, and remember invite only and confluence model, and I'm going to add 2 instances of the confluence model. Why, you may ask? Well, let me show you. First, on this lower one, I'm going to change the bias to bearish, and you'll see that shifts my cloud downward. And then on the style, I will make the top plot of the bearish one a little bit thicker. You can see that right there. And then last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to turn off the back test because this table doesn't help me if there are 2 instances, and you still see this because we have the second instance of the confluence model. So then let's go to this one, and this one will also turn the back test off, and this one will change to bullish. See what that did there? And on bullish, I changed the bottom line to thicker, and now you can see I'm getting these 3 instances of the cloud. And what this does for me, it just gives me really accurate reads of where there may be support and resistance. So you can see how on the downtrend, how it rides this bearish cloud, and then how it breaks back into the middle, and that acts as a bit of support. We break up, break down. I mean, you can just see how well these bands are respected. And as soon as we break out of that center channel, and we're in this upper band here, you can tell that this is obviously more of an aggressive bullish trend. And as soon as we break into the center, as we are right now, that indicates that some momentum is coming out of the move, and perhaps we'll correct this week. The other thing I'll say about this center channel is to pay attention to the 50% point. 50% levels are important in trading, and often price will find support or resistance here. So I would watch that 92,000, which incidentally is support on Bitcoin this week, to see what that does. And you can see here, right about the 50%, we found some support. Right about the 50%, we found some support, some resistance. So just something to watch out for. But now you're saying, well, God, there are all these buy and sell signals. Look at that. There's so many of them. What do I do with all those? Well, we're also going to turn those off. So if we go to style, we'll turn off all the arrows here on this indicator. Then we'll go to the second one, and we'll turn off all the arrows on that one too. So now you have your cloud, but gosh darn it, you don't have any buy or sell signals. Well, we have a solution. We'll go back. We're going to add one last instance of the confluence model. We're getting crazy here now with 3 of them, and God, this is a busy mess. But let's go to the settings for this one. And for this one, I'm going to turn off the cloud. So we're not worried about the cloud for this one. We're just worried about the inputs, and we have our input, which will change to bullish because we're on Bitcoin again. And then our back test, we want to keep it for this one. And again, I'm going to move it to bottom center, and I'll make it horizontal. And Voila, problem solved. You have all of the buy and sell signals with the appropriate bias and that lovely double cloud just to give you more indication of where support and resistance is going to be coming in and what the overall trend is doing. So anyway, that's it. Just a quick video recapping the setup of IADSS. What you'll want to do is back test this for the different assets that you're trading. You'll notice that the mean reversion will react differently on the 1-day time frame versus the 4-hour time frame. So look at your asset, look at your time frame, back test it, and find the system that works for you. And once you do, you'll find that this will greatly improve your entries and exits and overall win rate in trading. Bye for now.